there's a number of trends impacting the broader workforce, but then agriculture and food specifically.
We've had to think about communication in a different way. We've had to think about workforce development in a different way. We've had to think about alignment and motivation in a different way.
And we all know the average age of the farmers that are out there, and the boardrooms aren't that much different. So if we're thinking about the amount of institutional knowledge that is likely to retire or hang up their boots in the next 5, 10, 15 years, we have a tremendous amount of learning curve to catch, and we do not have enough young people in positions to catch that information.
If I can bring to the Stratovation Group the traditional background and learning and knowledge that's traditional, and blend it and meld it with the innovative technical thinking and processes of today, wouldn't that be a good balance? So virtually over a cup of coffee and a personal visit, I did a what if with Cam. I said, look, I've got these learning modules that can be pretty powerful, and they can be delivered in a virtual manner. And my idea is that the perfect client company would have identified high potential individuals that they want to develop. Because if they're not developing them, and if they're not investing in their training, somebody else will.
We think that this program is really best designed for those emerging leaders in the organization, that if you're in a leadership or you're in a boardroom today and you're saying, all right, in the next 5 to 10 years, which of these spots are we going to have to fill? Who else needs to be in the room? And who do we need to be hearing from to make sure we're pointed in the right direction? It's really that next crop of leaders and those folks that are going to be in those boardrooms making those decisions moving forward. So for some of these folks, they might be early in leadership roles. They may have just received a promotion, or they might be earning new responsibilities as they go. Or for others, this might be a good signal from leadership to say, hey, we do see you as a future leader, and if you continue to stay on the trajectory you're on, you'll earn a spot in the boardroom or in the C-suite. The team that would design this really would get to pick from a library of about 40 modules, all really diverse in their topics, ranging from hard skills and soft skills, some things more technical, some things more personal. But really, as Russ and our leadership team put these 40 modules together, we thought, what are the things that young leaders and especially C-suite and board leaders have to have in their toolkit before they would step in this arena?
It doesn't have to be an agricultural business either. You know, the concepts we have in the 40 modules deal with concepts of a committee work, or the diplomacy within a business, how to work within a team to concept, writing a business plan, writing a marketing plan. So they're very broad-based business concepts that Ham and his team and I and my history have done in an agricultural environment. That doesn't necessarily say that the candidates have to come from that scope. The modules are designed to be quick hits, 25, 35 minutes. You understand the concept. So if a corporation chose 3 modules and assign them to a learner, in a matter of an hour and a half's time, they'd understand the module, waiting for the chance to have that day and a half workshop where the ideas and concepts of the modules are driven deeper.
And we go deep into each of those modules and then give them access to other leaders like Russ Green, like a number of our other board of advisors, all 30 plus year agri-food value chain veterans in C-suite or similar roles. And that's really where the bulk of that collaboration and that learning happens.
After you get introduced to a training concept, if it's not coached, if it's not followed up upon, it'll go away. So the third step of the Leadership Academy is to follow up the face-to-face learning with a virtual contact 90 days after the discussion, and then a second one 120 days after the discussion.
The program's really designed to help drive engagement and accountability, and that's why there's so many check-ins over that time period. So really, we're hoping that we can see on our side and holding these young leaders accountable, so that way their businesses can see it on the other side as well.
And at the end of the 5-month period, there'll be a written report back to the corporation on the engagement of the individual, the curiosity and questions that were answered by the individual, the change that we saw in the individual's ability to accept a concept and then work that concept back into their environment.
We are going to need this young next crop of leaders to step up and do more with less. And so for that to be the case, we're going to need to be shortening that learning time, getting them as much of this institutional knowledge as we can, and get them ramped up while we still have this amazing group of leaders here now. So before the Russ Greens of the world go and retire, we need to implement and get all of that wonderful knowledge and 30, 40 years of industry experience transferred to this next crop, because if not, the agribusinesses and the food businesses that we're expected to lead might struggle in that case.